15 years, local record label Straits Records kept it real and independent. And they have this store over here that carries a lot of local albums that are typically not found in bigger CD stores. And today I have with me the founder and owner of Straits Records, Ridhwan. Okay, Ridhwan, can you tell us how did you stay afloat for 14 years in this industry that is relatively weak?
We spend less on promotion and advertising, and we just work with the bands. Most of our costs are on production. The local scene is like small, and most of the time it's always the same people that support, so it's easier for us. It's mostly towards word of mouth and friends, and due to our low cost, we managed to survive, and like we always try to venture to other projects like art events and stuff like that with music.
You were saying Straits Records has a low cost, that's why you can stay afloat for so long. But is there a possibility of making a profit? Was there ever a case?
I think at first when I started Straits Records, it's more about promoting local bands and helping them with the so-called business side of it, but not in like business sense where we make profit, because we know like we won't be selling like thousands of records here, and we already know that. So it's more like doing a lot of things ourselves. So it's more like our own effort, and when you do things yourself, it's always like cost less. And when you do things yourself, I think you are happier even if you don't make much money of it, because you know it's through your own effort, and like people still buy and own something that is part of you. I won't say it's like throughout the years we lost a lot of money, but I think once our project like starts selling, whatever we have back, we will just like rotate back and do something new. It's more about rolling the money to other projects than like thinking of how much we make on this project. So that's why we just carry on, because we know there's always, even though it's not much of a money that we make, we have enough to do another thing. So it just carry on over the years. There is possibility of making money, but because in Singapore, I think a lot of emphasis focus, or the limelight is more on foreign bands. So local bands are treated like second-hand or low-quality bands, which is not true, because we have good bands that like even open for foreign bands and international bands that come here. But it's just that I think the most important part, a lot of Singaporeans don't know that these bands exist, or we have good bands around here, because most of them are not aware. And like even though over the years there's like more support, but I don't think it's enough for local bands, since I think one of the main problem is radio, because if radio doesn't really play our song, the people here will know that we have good bands or good songs from local artists. Even in Malaysia or even in the UK, radios have quotas to play local music to show support that to our local artists. It's not like you play all foreign. So because down here we don't have such like no legislation. So and commercial music are what our radio plays. So it doesn't really help local bands to grow, to be more known by local people. I think that's a major problem. I think in Singapore it really comes to being spotted by the media, and like once the media like you, I think the problem here is they always choose the same bands. So only these few bands will get popular. I think a lot the audience will think that these are the only few bands or the few good bands that we had, but I think there's a lot more that are not given enough opportunity also.
Because you were saying like DJs don't play local music because it's not as commercialized. Do you think that local bands will have to sell themselves out just to be more commercialized and to make money?
I think first and foremost, a lot of people be musicians to play from their heart and to play what they want. It's not about what people want to hear. I think when they do that, I think the songs or the quality of the song will be different.
The place I'm wondering, I cannot take it anymore. Oh, girl.
Yours is like a local record label. What about those bigger ones like Universal and Warner? Do you think they are doing enough to help push the local industry?
I think because they are a commercial-based record label and they know that there's not much profit to be made from releasing or investing on local bands, and most of them only have like help out with distribution and things like that. So because with music is, if your goal is profit making and capitalistic, and especially in an environment like Singapore, I don't think they will be interested to work or invest on a local band. And because like I think for them it's a whole market by itself, and like even like around the world the music industry's profit has been going down over the years, so I don't think they want to venture into something like this now.
So those albums that come into your store, right? How many of them actually do make a profit, selling those albums out to people?
I think if a band work hard enough to promote their releases, like send them to newspaper to be reviewed, magazine, play more shows to the people that listen, I think they can sell more. But I think those who just release and like lay low and keep quiet, it's much more difficult to sell their CDs. If you've seen like people do new albums out like after 2 years, I think they have covered enough for the first project. When a new band come out with something, it's always the best selling one, but after like 2-3 months it will start slow down in sales.
So in your 14 years in the music industry, what kind of style or genre actually does sell the best?
I think because music is like fashion, so over the years there's always like a new trend that people like to listen to. Like the past 2 years is like emo bands and post-rock bands are those more popular ones.
So in the music industry, what would you call successful?
In any form of art, money is not the main goal. If you know you have something out, whether music or painting or film or documentary, if people like it, I think that's the success level that you see. How much people like it or criticize it and that kind of thing. I think money value less with music than how people take your work.
And indeed, success comes in all forms. So if you ever feel like giving up, perhaps you can think back, what is it that first got you inspired? And if you are a fan of foreign music and you want something fresh, why not head down to a local gig, get an album, and basically give local music a chance? Who knows, you might be pleasantly surprised.